At the T-minus 3-minute mark, tape recorders on board the spacecraft were turned on. These recorders record both voice and data. We have ignition decommissioned. The engine's now building up to 7.7 million pounds of thrust. We have a launch commit and we have a liftoff. Moving back. The Saturn V lifting off of
And we're back. This is 105 putting on the radiator, the rocket shop. I'm your host, Tom Proctor. Tonight is with me Justin LaPoint. How's it going?
Very good. How are you?
I'm quite well. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime. Appreciate it. As we usually do, we start off with a song. So if you'd like to introduce it and take it away.
Yeah, this song is called Sleepy Town, USA.
All right.
I can hear Grandpa in the church, he's stomping his feet. And I can hear everything he says, but I can't see him speak. And I know I'm crazy. That's something he would say, but he died a long time ago in Sleepy Town, USA. And I'm gonna be famous someday. She don't believe me anyway. Said you never get out of this town. You never get out of this town. This town is a drive-through town. There's always people coming and going. In this town, between here and there, and I don't care too much about where they're going. Not in this town. And I'm gonna be famous someday. She don't believe me anyway. Said you never get out of this town. You never get out of this town. This town is where the sidewalks end, and high school kids smoke cigarettes down by the river bend. And I love that girl, marry her someday, or get a house on the corner in Sleepy Town, USA. And I'm gonna be famous someday. She don't believe me anyway. Said you never get out of this town. You never get out of this town. I'm gonna be famous someday. She don't believe me anyway. Said you never get out of this town. You never get out of this town.
Sleepy Town USA there by Justin LaPoint. And that song in particular, so I know you grew born and raised in Vermont. That's correct, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Was that a biographical song from where you grew up?
Yeah, actually, I'm from Heinsberg, Vermont,
Okay.
about 20 minutes away. And yeah, lived there most of my life, and I'm living in South Burlington now,
Mm-hmm.
so big change.
Big city lights.
Big city lights of South Burlington. Yeah, so Heinsberg, for those that don't know it, there's not a whole lot in Heinsberg. You kind of usually just drive through to get to somewhere else, but it's a good town nonetheless. And yeah, I still love it, but
Mhm.
you know,
Hence why you immortalized it in the song.
yeah.
And so your first album came out in 2017,
Yep.
Bear Country.
Hmm.
Now that song isn't on the sleeve.
That's
so
not on the album. No.
I'm now wondering whether or not this is an indication that you got another one coming out, or is this an older song?
It's newer than some of the songs on Bear Country, but I don't have another album coming out. But I have Bear Country,
Mm-hmm.
which came out. I'm still riding along on that
Yeah.
one. I would like to do another album in the future. Just gotta, put some money aside for that. But yeah, because Bear Country was a good chunk of change for that. So
I can imagine. And well, you won the Advanced Music Singer-Songwriter competition as well back in 2014.
Mhm.
So was it through that competition you managed to get this album out?
no, back in 2014, I won that, and then I won some recording time with Andre Marcara.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a studio up in, I forget, like Fairfield, Vermont. And so we did 3 songs, and it was pretty bare bones. It was just me. Yeah, I held on to that for a while. I think I was probably like 23 when that happened. And then when I was 25, I made a goal, and I said, okay, I'm gonna make an album this year, and I'm gonna release it, by the time I turned 26. And I think it released like on the day that I turned 26. So
Oh, what a
It was
great
a
birthday
success.
present to yourself.
yeah, it was a good birthday present.
And so, being from Vermont, everything, and some of these songs I've listened to do sound relatively autobiographical. I wasn't ever aware that Vermont was really known for its bears. So I'm wondering what the album title's about. And, maybe it is about the bears in Vermont. I'm not sure.
Well, so I've done a lot of hiking
Mhm.
around here. I hiked the Long Trail with a friend of mine in 2 sections, and do a lot of hiking in the area. I lived up in the hills in the woods, and there's not a ton of bears, but there's a lot of black bears, and there's always the signs Bear Country. When you're going out hiking on the trail, and so to tell you the truth, I saw that and I was like, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a good name for an album. And so that was a real big project for you. And
Yeah.
as you said, you kind of had that real goal of getting that out before your 26th or on your 26th birthday,
Yeah.
which is a fantastic achievement to hit right on your 26th birthday. What was the entire process like for you? Like gathering all your songs together, getting into the recording studio, and then reception after that.
So I probably had enough music. I probably have enough music to do. Like when I first started Bear Country, I probably had enough to do like 2 or 3 albums. And so, because I've been at it for a little while, and so I just decided to pick the stronger ones that I had at the time, and then I went on to Google and I typed in local recording studios and sent some emails, and I don't have a ton of money, so Meadowlark, Yasmin at Meadowlark, I talked with her, and then we started talking about making the album. And then at first it was going to be like bare bones, like it was just going to be me. And then I think she convinced me to flesh it out a little bit more and get more people on it. And then it just kind of went from there. And then got session musicians on it, and then it just went for it. And
How was the
perform.
process of picking out those musicians as a solo artist, and with songs quite intimate? What was it like introducing new foreign elements into your music?
It was definitely, the whole thing was new to me because I've been used to playing by myself for a long time, maybe with a friend of mine, my sister for a little while, but most of the time it's just me, and it's just me and the acoustic guitar. So it was definitely weird it was great to hear a bunch of different musicians on the album, and I loved it, and the whole thing was just so much fun for me. And it's a lot of fun being in the studio and hearing that, and get these session musicians in there that are just like way better than me. Like we had Russ Lawton, who plays with Trey Anastasio, and he was playing drums, and so he just comes in, and then I say, hey, because I have no music theory knowledge, and I was like, hey, I kind of wanted to sound like this, and then he just comes in and plays it perfectly, like first thing. I'm like, yeah, it sounds great. And then everyone was super nice and helpful. I had a few friends that came in and paid them with beer. Yeah.
The classic friend price.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'd love to hear another song from you. So if you'd like to do an introduction and maybe a little bit of background on it as well, that'd be great.
Yeah. I'm going to play Joan, which is on the album. Definitely should play songs from the album that I'm promoting. And this is actually one of the first real songs that I thought, hey, I could play this out, because I wrote a lot of not so great stuff, obviously, when you first start out, and the song Bear Country and Joan were some of the first songs that I thought, hey, people might like this. So
All right. Well, take it away.
Tried to get out of state, maybe California, but she couldn't escape. She fell in love with every pretty face she met. She fell in love, but I couldn't relate. And I said, Joan, please don't leave me here alone. And she says, I ain't never coming home. Yeah, she says, I'm never coming home. She always thought she wasn't pretty enough to be on those magazines. But I saw you dancing behind that silver screen. Yeah, I saw you dancing behind that silver screen. And I said, Joan, please don't leave me here alone. And she says, I ain't never coming home. Yeah, she says, I'm never coming home. I can still hear you there. I can still hear your voice. You said pretty chord choices won't ever get me to stay. But these winters are so long, they're so damn long, they're so long. And I said, Joan, please don't leave me here alone. And she says, I ain't never coming home. Yeah, she says, I ain't never coming home. Yeah, she says, I ain't never coming home.
Joan there by Justin LaPoint. Thank you very much. So looking through some of the tracks on your album, would you say there's a core theme to the tracks that you picked out to record in the end?
You know, to me it sounds sort of Vermont-y. It does have like strong Vermont vibes in it. I'm not sure. 7 Days reviewed it, and they said it sounded like torn between staying home and traveling, and like getting out of your town. Obviously, like the first song that I wrote, and I would say that's pretty true. That kind of feel of being like split. So.
I did read that it's a bit of an escape album.
Yeah.
Kind of a hitting the road kind of.
Yeah, that's the way it feels. In your mid-20s and you're dreaming of other things, and love your town, but then you want to go and see other places, and yeah.
I can certainly attest to that.
Yeah.
So you mentioned, definitely got Vermont themes. For you, what are Vermont themes? What do you sing about? What is in there, or even what the sounds that you're making do you feel ties back to this state?
I think I was really influenced by my time, being outside, and small town stuff, and I do a few shout outs in this interview, but I worked at this place called Good Times Cafe, and they had these amazing musicians that would come through every Saturday, acoustic, blues, folk, and I'd see these guys when I was starting at 16 until for years and years, and heavily influenced by them, and then I started going to this thing called Ripton Coffee House, which is another shout out, and that's a great place, and that's like one of my favorite places to play. It's just like in the middle of Vermont, in the middle of the mountains. It's a cozy place, and yeah, there's a lot of imagery, especially with the next song that I'll probably sing, with mountains and in the woods and bear country, and yeah.
Well, I asked this to Reed as well, but when you're writing these songs, when you're playing these songs, where do you imagine the listener is when they're listening to it?
That is a tough question. If as long as they're listening to it anywhere, then that's fine with me. But I think the same with her. I think a lot of people have been listening to it in their car, which is flattering, because that's where I've gotten like pretty much all my practice in. Driving from work is singing in the car, and then I'm singing in the car during the day, and then I'd be too self-conscious, and then when people would drive by, I'd stop singing real quick, and then they'd drive by, and then I'd start singing again. It wasn't that shameless where I'd just be like screaming in my car with other people sitting next to me in their car. So
maybe we should give it a go, get some collaborative feedback.
Yeah, I don't want to look totally crazy.
I heard in the title track, the Bear Country, that you've got one of the earlier lines is the new generation is making me feel old and dumb, and you're quite young yourself, so I was wondering what the sentiment behind that line.
I think I started writing that just like in the perspective of, someone else returning home, from being in the city and returning back to, small town wherever, and feeling kind of jaded and stuff. I already feel disconnected with people that are like 20 and I'm 27, so I can't imagine what other people feel like, but yeah, it's not that much of a difference, but yeah.
Right. Well, I'd love to hear a final song.
Yeah.
But before we get going, any gigs, promotions, anywhere we can listen to your music other than buying an EP? Although I should recommend everyone go out and buy the EP for both Reed and Justin. But yeah, where can people find you?
So you can find it anywhere that there's music. It's on Spotify, Google Play. I don't know what everyone listens to now, but and then it's on. I have my website is justinlapoint.com, and it's on my Facebook too, and so you can find it anywhere. Just Google it, and it's on iTunes, all kinds of stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
And any gigs coming up?
So on January 4th, I'm playing. That's a Friday night. I'm playing at Stone Corral, and that's in Richmond, Vermont. And then on January 5th, I'm playing at Twigs, up in St. Albans.
All right.
That Saturday night.
Wicked. Well, thank you so much for coming in. And
Thanks for having me.
If you'd like to introduce the last song and also maybe give us a bit of background.
Yeah. Make sure I'm in tune here. So this next song is called Shaker Mountain, and that is a mountain that I believe is in Huntington or between Huntington and Starksboro. Yeah, I guess it's up for interpretation. You'd have to listen to the song. Someone described it as gypsy jazz. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but I can see it. So, yeah.
Well, take it away.
She was a modern-day gypsy when she stumbled into town. She had some tricks up her sleeve when she took my heart and disappeared. She went up that mountain just like I feared. Come on down from Shaker Mountain, shake for me one more time. Won't you come on down from Shaker Mountain, shake right by my side. Alright, alright. Now my daddy told me in earnest not to go up that trail. He said I should be nervous that I might come back a different man. Oh, not at all. Oh, not at all. Come on down from Shaker Mountain, shake it for me one more time. Won't you come on down from Shaker Mountain, shake right by my side. Alright, alright. Now I tried to call you in the night just to see if my voice could reach those peaks. But all I got in reply Was that cold, cold breeze and that winter freeze coming down, 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 down? Come on down from Shaker Mountain. Shake it for me one more time. Won't you come on down from Shaker Mountain? Shake right by my side. Won't you shake right by my side? Won't you shake right by my side? Alright, alright.
Justin LaPoint there with Shaker Mountain. Thank you so much for coming in, Justin. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Justin's album is out, Bear Country. You can find it on Spotify, Google Play, wherever else.
Wherever you can get music.
And also big thank you to Ree Parsons for coming in this evening as well. Also lovely to have you guys. Tune in next week. We have The Silent Mile coming in on the 26th of December.
Boxing Day, we decided maybe we'll take Boxing Day off.
And Bob is saying that we are taking Boxing Day off out of respect for my home country. Where we do traditionally take the 26th off. So I will catch you back in the new year. So big Merry Christmas to you. Happy Hanukkah. Happy New Year. All the other holidays. And catch you in January. Goodbye.